Today I'm going to talk to you about warming up. Now, when I talk about warming up, I'm talking about a full body activation. We're going to start with the lower body here, and I'm going to have Yulia run you through what I consider to be the perfect warm-up to get your lower body connected with the movements that you're about to make. So when you subject your body to heavy loads, which is resistance training, now we need to be prepared for that. I see way too many people walking straight from their car in the parking lot right to the dumbbell rack. Now, this is not the best way to optimize your results from your workout. We really do need to activate the muscles and connect and tell our muscles, you're about to do some heavy lifting, all right? Now, I'm gonna prepare you for that, but you have to tell your body, really, this is happening, this is real, all right? Now, this is part of injury preventative training, but it's also part of performance enhancement training. Any athlete will tell you that a warm-up is essential for their peak performance potential. All right, so we're gonna start with very, very simple movements. I'm gonna have Yulia show us for the warm-up, for the lower body routine, we just do simple knee circles, we do ankle circles, we do a hip opening exercise, and we do a hip hug, so a knee hug. We're gonna show you all that in a second, so that's not gonna mean much to you now, but I will run you through each of these warm-up exercises, and I hope to see everyone implement these into their workouts before they start their resistance training and HIIT portions of their T3 workout. So Yulia, let's demonstrate the knee circles. So knee circles are very simply placing your hands on your knees and doing clockwise motions where you're doing a partial squat. Now this is pumping blood into the knee joint and it's getting the tendons and ligaments ready for some heavy lifting. It's activating. So Yulia's gonna keep going. I'm gonna walk you through this. So Yulia's getting a little bit low, which is putting pressure on the knee, and this is a good pressure. It's activation. All right, so now your knees are saying, oh, okay, I'm waking up. I'm about to do something. I get it. All right, and now we're going to switch that around to counterclockwise. So the opposite direction. All right, so you're going to do two directions, about 10 in one direction, 10 in the other direction. Now for ankle rolls, it's the same thing, or ankle circles. You plant your toe into the ground, and then you circularly make these circular motions inside and outside, always pushing the toe into the ground. Now this is gonna get the tendons, this is gonna get the ligaments of the ankle joint, which is a very complicated joint and where a lot of things go wrong. Now again, you're gonna activate that, you're gonna wake it up, you're gonna tell it, you're about to do some work, you're about to be subjected to a heavy load, and you're gonna be ready for it because I'm warming you up. All right, so now you switch feet and you do the same thing, 10 clockwise, 10 counterclockwise. And just nice and smooth, but roll that ankle, get a big range of motion, big circles. So now you have the knees, you have the ankles warmed up and activated. Now we're gonna go into the hip. So we're gonna open up the hip joint and we're gonna show them our knee hugs. So a knee hug is you lift up a leg, you grab the knee, and then you push forward. Okay, so this is firing the glutes, working your balance, and it's opening up the hip. You're stretching the deep muscles of the hip, deep muscles in the glute, and you're really pushing that forward. So you want to do these knee hugs about 4 or 5 each side. So really pushing that knee forward. Now you're going to feel it. If you're tight, if you're tense, this exercise will show you. It's going to tell you that you need to work on some flexibility probably. But this is important, guys, because when you open up the muscles, when you activate the muscles, when you pump blood into the muscles, they're less prone to injury and more capable of performance. And this is essential for your results. All right, so now Yulia is going to show us the line hip internal and external windshield wipers. So Yulia, you can show us this. Now this is also known as a low back stretch, but we're going to use it as a warm-up because we're going to stretch the outer glute in such a way that it's not static stretching. You never want a static stretch before you work out, but it's a dynamic stretch. There we go. We're not doing this fast. We're doing this controlled, but we're opening up the hip joint, which tends to be a very tight part of our body because we walk all day in the same plane. We sit down, we're in an anterior or posterior pelvic tilt, and this is not good for us. So now we're opening things up. We're getting blood flowing. This will complete our lower body activation warm-up. Now there's still more we can do to dynamically stretch, and I'm going to show you that very soon. So when you do this exercise, you want to do about 8 to 10 each side. Controlled. Just opening up the hip, getting the blood flowing. All right, so now we switch sides. And this isn't something you need to be too specific on. If you do 8 each side, if you do 10 each side, if you do 12 each side, it's no problem. You're doing the right work. 6 is not enough. 15 might be too much. Just find your sweet spot. Just get things moving, okay? But make it a habit to incorporate all of these movements into your workouts before you start your heavy resistance training. I promise you, you will see less injuries, you'll have less little pulls, and you'll have more performance. You'll enjoy what happens just from implementing this short 2 or 3 minute warm-up into your activity routines.